Welcome to Devops School. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in Devops School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
First thing, send the data through syslog on a syslog server. Like you can have a so I forgot the name of syslog server. So whatever syslog server you have in between, just have that. Store all this syslog onto that server in a file. Like you can store into .log file or .txt file, right? And then what you do is on this syslog server, you have to install the universal forwarder. Install it. And then what you can do is you can push the add-on, like you have Cisco add-on. You can push that add-on to here. And that add-on and forwarder will collect the data and send to the indexer directly. So it is more better way to collect the data from network devices.
Okay, so like a kind of a in-between collector. So
right. Because
it's a more
we have a more better way. Because if you collect through the UDP protocol, and we know UDP is the collections protocol, and if somehow our Splunk is restarted or some network issue, then that data is dropped, it will not reach to Splunk. But if we are storing that to the syslog server, and we have forwarder installed to read the file, txt file or log file. So whenever Splunk will restart, so that time it will send the log to Splunk. So there will be no data loss, right?
Yeah, so like there is a stored somewhere in between, and that functionality of storage is just not like doing any processing and all that just stuff. Awesome.
Right.
And how exactly you will figure it out?
More reason for that.
And how exactly you will figure it out if suppose source system is not able to send the data, or is there any issue? Is there any alert system is also in there that something is missing?
Yes. Right, it is there. In Splunk, you have a monitoring console. So you can say monitoring console is a tool for admins to monitor the performance of a Splunk servers or Splunk system. Like you have different environment, so it will try to monitor all server performances. If logs are being dropped, if you're exceeding the license amount or not. So everything can be monitored here. You can set up the alerts here in monitoring console. So that is a very long topic. If I have to take up that now, that will take lots of time. So I will skip that for now, but that can be done. Yes. So we can get to know whenever we are not getting the log.
No issue. Okay.
And we can set up a alert for that, right? And if you are having a syslog server in between and you install the forwarder on that, so using that you can do some more functions, like you fetch the data feed. So lots of things can be done. Okay, so Splunk is always available on IP address and port number, that is 8000 by default. You can log in into that. Now I will skip these few slides. Okay, now let's see how you can deploy the enterprise security. Okay, because in our class we have to cover how to use Splunk enterprise security and how to admin it, how to deploy it. So just to give a background how you can deploy enterprise security. So before that, we should be having a checklist. So first thing, we should be determining the size and scope of installation. Like in that, we can see like how much EPS or how much GB per day data we are going to ingest. That can be part of Splunk sizing and scope. Okay, just to give example here, let me open the notepad again. So let's see, we just have a Splunk enterprise deployment first. Enterprise, okay. And in that case, our sizing is 500 GB data per day, okay. So in that case, what we require is we require one search head and we require two indexers. Why two indexers? Because for Splunk Enterprise, one indexer can only handle maximum of 300 GB data per day. So this amount of data can be handled by one indexer. So for that, we have two indexer, right? And apart from that, some functionality depend. If we want to have deployment server, that depend. So we require the deployment server. Let's say we have deployment server to manage the forwarders. Like if you have 200 servers, so to manage them, we require DS, deployment server. It will manage all the forwarders. If you want to push the same .3 file, if you want to update all the forwarders, so that will be done using DS. But now we have to convert this deployment into enterprise security, right? Splunk, yes. Now let's see, data is same, so our scope is this one. So now what will change here? Can anyone tell me? So how much search ad we require?
Two searched, one
yeah,
searched alone for.
Yeah, one search ad is to make the search, one for ES, right? Now how many indexes we require?
Same, it will be two, right? 300
No,
GB per
No.
day.
No, so in case of
yeah.
enterprise security, one indexer can handle data maximum 100 GB. So
Okay.
in basic case, it is 300 GB maximum, but I will never go with 300 GB also. I will go with 250 GB because sometimes you can have some peak, right? Peak time as well. So to handle that, you should be having that as well. Okay. So 250 per day. So now, in case of enterprise security, our data is the same, right? But one indexer can handle how much data? Maximum 100 GB. But I will go with 70 to 80 GB, not 100 completely. So I should be having some scope to have the peak times as well. So according to 80 GB, it will be 6 indexers, right?
Yep.
Let's say 6 indexers on a rough size and 1 DS, that is same. So here we were saying that we have to determine the size and scope of the installation. So this, and then we have to configure additional servers if required. So here, as you can see, we require the additional servers. So we require one for search ad and four additional for indexers. So additional 6 indexers will be 6 servers will be required to us. So you have to check up the whole thing. Then you have to get the ES software from Splunk. You have to pay for it for 500 GB per day. You have to get it and install it on the search ad that we had, separate search ad, install on that. And then you have to install all the ES apps on search ad. Like ES app will be coming up with lots of add-on, like it will be having add-on for firewalls, IPS, IDS, antiviruses. So, but all of them will be disabled by default. So you have to enable them. And then you have to say, so when you install enterprise security, so that will be having a file. That file will be called as TA for indexers. So you have to install that file into all indexers. So same configuration can be replicated to all indexers, right? Okay, now let's see what kind of impact can enterprise security can make on our servers or our resources. So
And
enterprise security,
one more
okay.
thing Aman, over here. Is it like those indexing is dynamic or static? Means like a kind of you set up those list of key value stuff and all those stuff, and I figure it out. I need to add 10 more. So those indexing is got a reindex, or is it dynamically changing, or is just like a kind of a the way Elasticsearch is static indexing is happening that
Okay,
way.
so okay, so what we will do is just a scenario here. Let me
Huh.
open it. drawing tool. Let's say if you have like one indexer, two indexer, and third indexer, right? And then here we have lots of data sources. Like we have lots of data sources here. So what we can do is we can divide data sources. Like we can divide into three parts. Like for the three, we can divide it on average. Like so, these 7 to 8 data source will generate 80 GB. These 7 will also generate 80 GB. These 7 will also generate 80 GB. Then you can send data from here to this one, from here to this one, and from here to this one. So sometimes we can have the indexer discovery as well. So your forwarders will automatically identify how many indexes you have and where to send the data. And one more functionality Splunk has is that you can load balance the data. So Splunk forwarders have the capability to the auto load balancing. So it will be able to send the like equal amount of data to all the indexes.
And how about like if I am changing the indexing logic itself, like dynamically I'm changing the sether, this is not the way it is supposed to be, and so how exactly it do the reindexing and make it available the news?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said that in last slide, let me erase it first. So as I said, you will be having an indexer config file, right? So this file should be deployed on the indexes. So all the configuration will be replicated to all indexes. And when Splunk forwarders will do the auto load balancing, it will be able to send the equal amount of data to all the indexes. So it will automatically identify like which indexer to send. And so like if you are having very large amount of data coming, so it will wait for a few seconds, it will wait for the line break or for end of the file, and then it will send to the different indexer. So Splunk forwarders have this capability to compress the data feed, to encrypt the data feed, or to auto load balance the data. So these functionalities Splunk already have.
And if there's any case of reindexing, how exactly that get handled? Like a reindexing.
Okay, so why we have to reindex? So maybe scenario can be like you require the high availability, right? So maybe some index is down, right? So in that case, as I said, we have maximum 100 GB data per day, and we are already doing 70 to 80 GB data per index, right? So we are leaving scope for 20 to 30 GB additional data that can be stored. So whenever one index will go down, so Splunk will identify that one index is down and two are up. So it will wait for other indexes to be up. So for the meantime, it will keep on sending data to these two indexes that are up.
Hey viewers, our Mastery in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
And whenever new index will be up, but if you have done it as static, like no auto load balancing, then that data will be lost. But that again depends on how you are getting the data. If you are getting through syslog directly, then it will be definitely lost. But if you are writing it somewhere on the syslog server, then whenever our index will be up, that data will be sent to it. But for this kind of scenario, we have the high availability option as well. So you can replicate the same data on different indexes. We have that capability as well. So we can configure like few additional servers for indexes, and we can do the clustering on them. So whenever one will go down, it will depend on the replication factor and search factor, how many copy you want to be searchable or to be replicated. So for that again, it is 13 to 14 of class. But yeah, Splunk has this kind of capability that it can do.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so let's see what kind of impact ES can make on the resources. So enterprise security generally require a new search chat and new and dedicated search chat, or it require a search chat question.
One question, continuation to the previous question by Ranjan. Okay, so when the data is forwarded from the forwarders to the indexer. Parser is there, right? Based on the key values
Right.
set for the parser, it will be stored in the indexing. Yeah. So
No.
yeah.
Okay, so parsing is done at indexer, but that is not like not being written to the our row log. So that is being stored on the, you can say, on the search ad dynamically. So so it is done on scheme on the fly. So all the key value pair are stored as a knowledge object on search ad, and it will not make any impact on the raw data.
Okay, got it. So even if you change, like after some time, after a few days, if you change the
Yes,
key values, then no
right.
impact because it's a
No.
dynamic. Okay,
Right. So it will
okay,
be applied on historical and new log both. But if you talk about
okay.
competitors, like which other vendors, like McAfee, Oxide, Curadar, or Logarithm, in those, so when we do the parsing, it is done at the before data is being indexed.
Okay.
And in Splunk, we
Makes-
do after data is being data is indexed on indexer. So we do on search it. So we store into knowledge objects, and it is applied on the historical and real time. But in Curadar, McAfee, Oxide, so whenever you create a new parser, you have to delete all the historical parsing. Your all the historical data is lost. So it will
Yeah,
only apply on the new logs in other solutions. So this is why Splunk
yeah,
is more better as compared to
yeah.
those
It's
systems.
clear, clear now.
Okay. Okay. So enterprise security is compatible with other SIEM compatible app. So all the add-on and apps that are available on Splunk base, these are SIEM compatible. Like they will automatically normalize the data. But if you are not having any app for a particular data source, in that case, you have to make it compatible for CIM or for normalization. That can be done by creating a knowledge object like for field aliases, for tags, for event types. And okay, so one more thing I forgot to tell you. So here, when we are discussing about the sizing. So here, let's consider you require the 1 TB storage, right? When this will come to the enterprise security, so we require storage that will be 3.4 times into 1 TB. So this is the storage required for enterprise security because it heavily depend on the data model, and data models will be having this file .tsidx file, and these consume very large space. So storage also changes. So we require 3.4 times more storage in case of enterprise security.
How much is the pricing? Because these days, like you can collect maybe 10, 12 terabyte of data, means in a large
Mhm.
enterprise, and that costing will be pretty heavy. Means if you
Okay, so that again depend on the retention period. So that will be depending on the retention period. So let's say if you have retention of 6 months online storage, okay,
uh,
and 6 months offline.
uh,
So Splunk has the concept of buckets. So Splunk store data in buckets. So we have 3 to 4 type buckets. So first is the hot bucket, then we have warm bucket, then cold, then frozen.
yeah,
So
something.
okay, so we keep data around 10 to 15 days in hot bucket. So hot bucket will have 10 to 15 days. So for hot bucket, we recommend having the SSD because we require the storage very
Yeah, yeah,
fast storage. In fact. And for
that's
warm
true.
and cold, you can have the maybe
Rotatory.
yeah NAS storage
Mm,
or channel storage.
yeah,
And for frozen, you can have the maybe cheaper one, NAS or anything else.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so but
And
yeah, I will.
and how
Okay,
much is the
so
cost? How much is
cost
the cost per?
I am not sure how much it will cost
Okay,
because
okay.
I have not purchased it. But yeah, I know SSD are very costly. If you have to purchase for 250 GB, then that will be around 5 to 6K INR.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so architecture we have discussed. So for enterprise security, I will never recommend to have a single server. So it is better to have the dedicated search ad and multiple indexes. But if you have a use case for like high availability or for multiple sites like DC and DR scenario, for that case, you can do the clustering at indexers as well, indexer and searcher clustering. So whenever one indexer will be down, so data will be replicated and will be available for searches. Same way, if one searcher goes down, so your data will be searchable on all other indexes. So if you want to do clustering on search ad, then you require minimum 4 search ad. You should be having minimum 4 so that they can dynamically elect a captain for them. And for indexes, so that depend on the replicant factor. Just say if you want to have 2 copies of the data, then you should be having minimum 3 indexes in clustering. Like it will be RF plus 1. That's how we calculate. But let's say we had 500 GB data per day. So in that case, it will be 6 to 7 indexes will be required to do the clustering. But that again depend on the how much uptime you require or how many indexes you can afford to go down at the same time. So that
So,
again depend on that.
so when you say that all the stuff like how who will be captain and all this stuff, so do we have a kind of a something like a zookeeper, like a who maintain the some kind of a quorum and see if things are where it is and all this stuff, so that all the
Right, right.
process
So I think right, right. So Splunk will be having a one as captain. So if captain is down, then Splunk search chat will be able to elect a captain dynamically. So yeah.
So is it like a Splunk based or Splunk own software, or they are using those open source
No, no.
kind of a Zookeeper, Mesos or something like that stuff?
So I believe it is Splunk created one. No, they
So
open
Splunk,
source.
okay, so Splunk
Yes.
have its own
Yeah.
implementation of doing this
Yes, Splunk. Yes, Splunk
Qu-
own implementation,
quorum
and
maintenance.
everything has to be done. Yes, Splunk. Everything has to be done through CLI. So we have
Oh,
certain commands for that. If you want to
oh,
read about that, we have given the link here. You can just capture them, or I
awesome.
can send
Okay,
on the chat.
sounds
Okay,
good.
so as we had discussed before installing enterprise security, we had a dedicated search ad, single search ad, and multiple indexes. So one search ad will increase, and indexes also increases, right? Okay, now let's see what is the hardware requirement for search ad. So a dedicated server or cluster for ES search ad with only CM compliant app will be installed. And for that, we require 64-bit OS and minimum of 32 GB RAM and at least 16 core processor. Because if we have to talk about search ad, so search ad performance depend on the core, how many cores you have. And if you have 16 core, then you can have at least 16 to 17 searches. So let's say if you have a team of 10 people and all those 10 people are running 1 or 2 searches at the same time, then that will exhaust all the CPU cores for you. So your CPU core totally depend on how many searches you can run at the same time, concurrent searches. And if you talk about requirement for indexers, it totally depend on the IOPS. If we talk about Splunk Enterprise, in that case, our IOPS should be minimum 100. No, sorry, not 100. It will be 800. But in case of enterprise security, IOPS should be more than 1200. And indexes can have maximum 100 GB data per day. And hardware requirement will be 64-bit OS, 16-core CPU, and 32 GB RAM. Right? So for search ad, performance depend on the number of cores. For indexer, it depend on the IOPS. In case of enterprise security, IOPS should be more than 1200. Okay, I will skip that, how to do the indexer clustering. Okay, now for storage. So as I said, we required 3.4 times more storage as compared to Splunk Enterprise deployment. And So that is for all the indexers. So that can be divided, like if we had 5 indexers, so you can divide the storage by 5, and then you can add some padding, like you can add 30 to 40 GB more storage into that, and you can consider that as the final storage per indexer, because sometimes one indexer can go down and you may need to send the data from other data sources to existing indexes that are up, and that can also consume some storage. So just keep that into mind, and you can just add few GB as a padding into that. Okay, and one more thing on enterprise security, we only suggest to have the index real-time searching, not the totally real-time, because if you have the real-time searching, that will be getting data from the parsing queue, and that can impact the performance. It can slow it down. But if you have the index real time, so it will be when all the data is being indexed into our indexes. So that will improve the concurrent real time search performance. But it will be minor delay, like few milliseconds or few second delay, not more than that. Okay, for forwarders requirement, so for that we do not have any hardcore rule. So you can have as many as forwarders you want to have, but to manage them, we require the deployment server. So that is only one. And if you have some unknown data source and you want to create an add-on for that, that can be created. For that, we have a app called add-on builder that can be downloaded from here. Let me show how it will work. So this add-on will help us to build the add-on for custom data source, and it can help us to normalize the data as per CIM. But this will not be used on the production server. First thing, you should be having a test environment. There you can use it, create an app using that, and then you can push that to the production. Let me showcase you the app for that. Okay, do here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this one. You can install it. Let me download it. Okay, it will take some time to download. Meanwhile, we can cover it. Okay, if you want to read more, then we have few more links here. Let me send it on the chat. Okay, so I have sent on the chat. Okay, now let's have the exercise before we move to the next one. So you're working with a client. That client has Splunk installed in a distributed site, and there is a one search head and 4 indexes, and data per day is 800 GB, and retention period is 1 year. Now customer is marginally happy with the current performance, and all servers are at basic minimum hardware requirement, and no new input are planned after installing ES. So what kind of changes into configuration you would like to make before you install the enterprise security? I think it is a very straight question, and no
More
one should have any
indexers.
doubt.
More indexers, is that right?
So it is about everything. Like it is about storage. You require new
Yeah.
search head, new
Yeah.
indexes. So
Yeah.
can anyone tell me like, what all other thing we require?
So more indexers, more
Okay, so
search head, more storage,
okay,
and all
so
those. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we require at least one more search head, right? So 2 search head will be there. Indexes, it has 4 right now.
So
So
300,
it will be 10. It will be
Hmm.
10 to 11 indexes, and
Yeah.
then my storage will increase 3.4 times, right?
Yeah.
So these are the changes that we require.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Hello. So everyone is back. Can we start?
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait 1 or 2 minutes so that everyone can be back. And can join. So let's wait 1 more. Okay, now let's start. So before we move into enterprise security and how to do monitoring and investigation, let me cover the one last area, how we can convert the custom data into ES as per CIM, or you can say how you can normalize it. So for that, we have this app, add-on builder. So you can use this app. You can go to Splunk. You can go to manage apps. Install from the file. I will select a file. This one. I can upload it. Let's wait a minute or two so that it can be uploaded. Okay, so I guess it has been uploaded. Now we have to restart Splunk so that all changes can be made. You can click on restart now. Okay. Okay, so we have few phases here. Let me showcase you one by one. Okay, so let me start it. Okay, so what it will do is it will normalize the data. It will create a source type. It will create the field extraction, and it will help us to map to the right data model. So Splunk has by default around 22 data model, but when it comes to enterprise security, then we have 31 data models. Enterprise security. So here you can go to setting. Then we have the data models. You can check all the data model here. Okay, so here it is only showing 3 data model, but it will be around 22 to 23. If I showcase it here in this one, you will be able to see. So we can see we have around 31 data models here, 38 in this lab. So we have data model for alert, application state, assets. Then for authentications, if you have network devices, then we have data model called network. Then IPS IDs, we have intrusion detection. For endpoint, we have endpoint data model. For email, we have email data model. So now we can go to Splunk add-on builder. So what it will do is it will try to normalize the data across a new data source that you have. So it will automatically input the data into Splunk, and it will extract field, map field to the CIM, and it can create some action alert. So let me go to this. So here you can go to config tab. Now you have to make a you can give username and password for Splunk website. So you have to enter the Splunk login account password. Let me do. You can give password here. Let's see. Okay, you can save it. Okay, now here you can click on this, create a new add-on. You can give the name to this add-on. Let's say it is for F5. So it will automatically add the TA in front of name. TA means it is a technology add-on. You can give your name here. I will put my name. You can give the version name. If you want to add some description, put that here. If you want it to be visible in here in the app section, you can put it as a visible. If you want to hide that, then uncheck it. If you want to add a icon, that can also be done. You can add a PNG file or JPG file, and then you can change the theme color. You can create it. Let's create. Okay, now here. So we have few steps here. First thing, you have to configure the data collection, then manage the source type, then you will extract the field, and then you will map to the data models here. Okay, let's go to manage source type. Let me add a input here. Okay, I will directly go with this one, second step, not the first one. You can go to manage source type. I will add in source type here, or you can import from Splunk. So in Splunk, we had imported a log file, if you remember. Okay, so I have to upload it. It is not here, I guess. Okay, here it is here. So let's take this one, SSLB code. You can save it, continue. Then it will go to the next stage. You can either do the assisted extraction or you can do manually. Let's do the assisted one. Okay, let's select the key value pair, right, and submit it. Okay, now you are able to see we are able to extract some field like key and value pair. So let's see. Let's do auto here. Okay, we're not able to extract. Let's do through rejects. Okay, if you know how to write a regex, then Okay, so I want to capture for the date. For date, what should be the regex? It can be d plus, then d plus, this one. Let's apply it. Okay. Okay, so it should be in two group. Okay, let's skip that. I will do only auto. Okay, so it says it's not able to extract any field here. So for that, we can either delimit or regex. After that, you will go to map to data model. I will not cover because it will take a very long time if I do that. So you can go to the data model, and for that you have to create a strategy first. Like you can create Excel sheet. If you know in your data, in your log file, you have date, then that date should be mapped to the date only. And then you have the source IP that can be matched to the SRC. Maybe here it is SORC. So you should create a table first, and then you can click on this. Click a new data model mapping. You can add the name of the event type, then select a source type from here, like this one. Then make a search. No, this one. Okay, so let's enter a source type name or event type name. I will add same. Save it. Now you can see here we are able to have some fields, and here you have to select a data model. Let's select a data model, maybe network. Okay, so here in this one, as you've seen, I am not having any data model. I only had the two data models here. Let me showcase again. So in this, okay, so you can see no data models here. But if you have the data model, then same way like we have field names here, field extraction, same way field extraction will be here. You can like pick it up and you have to put it here. Here will one be one column. You can put into that and select that. So after that, it will be created. Very simple. So here you get the option to save them, and you can say like you used to match in the some exams. Same way it can be matched. One from here, one from here. It can be selected and it can be combined. And then your data model, or you can say your add-on will be created. You can download that. After that, you can then upload it into Splunk, and it will just start working. So let me showcase you here. Okay, so here you can see in this, you have to select the action, put it here, and then select the action field from here. It is same. That's why it is showing green. Green equal to green. So that's mean it has been normalized automatically or already normalized. But for you can say DST port, and here we will be picking the port, only port, or this one DST translated port. You can say action OK. Same for host from, and here we have source, so it will be mapped here, and then save as done. And then you have to validate and package it. That will be done on the home screen. You can validate it and you can download the package from here. You can validate from here and then it will be downloaded. And then you can push this add-on to some universal forwarder if you want to do that. So any doubt in this one? Any questions here? Hello? Anyone have any questions?
No, Aman.
Because I will not be able to give the demo on this one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have any challenge in this one, then you can reach out to me on email or LinkedIn, whatever the way you like. Okay, now let's go to how we can use the enterprise security. So let's discuss all that. Okay, so Splunk Enterprise Security is built on Splunk OI platform, that is Splunk Operational Intelligence Platform. ES is just a app, and that has to be installed on Splunk server. And this will be leveraging Splunk powerful search capability that we have in SPL. And Splunk Enterprise Security will provide us a tool to the security practitioner or security engineer to detect and respond to the incident that we have. And it can be efficiently managed, or it can analyze or mitigate the security breaches that we have. And it is highly customizable as per our use case or as per our requirement. It is almost real time, and it is highly scalable, and it is context aware, and it is more focused on the content. So Splunk believe that if you have the right amount of data or right set of data, then you can make that data useful to do any use cases. And that's why we have very powerful data to everything platform. So what enterprise security will do is it will make all your data, not only just security data, relevant to the security effort that we have. And ES functional area will be the perimeter defense, like if we have some non-threat or vulnerability alert or threat activity or some risks. So it can manage that, it can detect that. For that, we have the security posture dashboard, we have collision searches, we have threat intel, and we have tool to capture the network traffic, like we can capture the HTTPS or SSL or DNS traffic. And then we can help you with the preventative analysis as well, like we can detect any anomaly, we can match the pattern, or we can do traffic analysis or statistical analysis that we do with the stats command. So you can perform any mathematical function that you want to perform on any data. So Splunk can do that. And we can help you with responding to breaches, like we can have the security investigations. We have our own ticketing system in Splunk Enterprise Security that can document whole process of how you did the RCA. And we can help you with incident tracking, and then we have some forensic tools, and we can help you with auditing as well, like if you want to see if someone has deleted the data, or what kind of searches someone has done, or if someone has made any changes into dashboard. So we have different audit dashboard for that as well. So Splunk Enterprise Security has few category of users that it can have. So we have security analyst that will be responsible for investigating alert incident and triaging them. Then we have SIEM admin and tool engineer. They will be responsible for new technology or upgrade, integration data sources. Then we have threat hunter or incident responder. So that we say at L2 team, or we can say L3 team. So they will be proactively and reactively hunting for the threat and determine the scope of incidents, breach, and then they will take the respective action on that. Then we have SOC managers, directors. So they are responsible for SOC processes that we have, or they will get approval for new technology or new tools, like you want to implement Splunk Soul platform, that is Splunk Phantom. So they will help you get budget approval for that. They will help you implement that. And then in the end, we have CISO, VP, or InfoSec head or security head. They will be heading or executing the information security department, and whole processes, how to managers, budgets, approvals, new product, new technology. But they will not be only limited to your SOC. So they can be involved in some different activities as well. They may be managing multiple teams or multiple departments. Okay, so we already know what kill chain process is. So it is done into 4 stages. First is the delivery stage, where attacker will deliver you some malware or some ransomware through email or through social engineering, or they will get access through the vulnerability scanning. And then in second phase, they will exploit it, or they will install the malware ransomware. And then in third phase, they will get our data through the command and control center. And in last stage, they will accomplish the mission, like they can upload a payload to remote server, or they can extract the data through data exfiltration. But same attacker and defender can use the kill chain methodology. So if you are a defender or if you are working in SOC, then Splunk Enterprise Security will provide you with some countermeasures. Like for delivery phase, we have dashboard for monitoring and access monitoring. So we have dedicated dashboard for that. So we can get to know if someone is trying to send out an email with some phishing data or phishing URL or some suspicious file. So we can detect that. And for second stage, that is exploitation or installation phase, we have different dashboard. Let's say protocol intel or system changes alert. Then we have for port monitoring, port scan monitoring, IPS ID dashboard. And for command and control center, we have dashboard for malware tracking. We can change any file system changes or any services that are running or any registry changes. We can monitor that. So we have this kind of capability into Splunk. And for last stage, we can get the alert from the network traffic, or we can do network analysis, or we have dashboard for auditing as well. So both attackers and defenders can use the same methodology to attack the customer or to prevent that. So I will skip that part. Okay, now let's see how ES works, how enterprise security will work. So all the security data will be captured or acquired by the add-on that we discuss. Like if you have routers, servers, or firewalls. So we have specific add-on for that. Those add-ons can help us get the data into Splunk.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
And it will be normalized. And then enterprise security will be running searches. It can be real-time searches or it can be scheduled searches. And those searches will be looking for IOCs or vulnerabilities or attacks. And if our searches that we are running in the background discover anything that requires our attention, then it will be displayed on one of the dashboards that Splunk has. And then we can investigate the issue, we can track it, analyze it, and then we can take the appropriate action. Or if you want to collaborate with different team, we can also do that. And then we have some use cases, like some basic use cases, let's say. So we have use case for malware protection, like we can identify the patent zero malwares or zero-day investigations. And for insider threat, we can identify the data filtration using multiple way, like through USB, through email, through cloud storages. Even if, but yes, one question can be like, if someone is trying to take the data out by printing it out, then how you can monitor that? So can anyone answer that? Okay, so we can either integrate the printers, network printers, or in Windows servers also, we have the log that can tell us if someone is trying to take the printout or how many printout one has taken. So we can create a dedicated dashboard for that. And we can set a threshold value, like if someone take more than 20 pages. So that will be flagged to us. So Splunk can help you with any use case that you want to create. And if you want to read about more use cases, that link can be here. Let me send on the chat. You can go through this. Okay, so discussed. Okay, now what are correlation searches? So correlation searches run in the background. They will be looking for a specific type of threat, vulnerability, or sign of a attack. And these searches can be either real time or they can be scheduled. And enterprise security comes with loads of correlation searches, but by default, all of these are disabled. So you have to enable these searches as per the requirement or as per the use case that you want to do. And if these any of these searches, correlation searches, will find something that require our attention, then it will trigger a alert, and that will create a notable event. So every vendor has a different name for that. So Splunk says it as a notable event. Then Elastic will call it as the episode. I think they will call it as signal, I think. Then McAfee say it as the correlation search or correlation event. So every event has different name for that. So we can have different kind of actions for this notable event. So whenever there's a match, so we can send some alert through email, or we can run a script, or we can create a ticket. So that depends on us what you want to do. Or if you want to send a message through Telegram or Slack, that can also be done. So as we said, notable events are nothing but the correlation searches that will be running in the background. And notable event will indicate a breach or vulnerability or any other issue. So let me cover some more slides first. So then we have a asset and identity. So each of the notable event will be having urgency. And urgency, you can say, urgency will tell us either this event is critical, it is high severity, or medium severity, or low severity. So the urgency of the notable event will be dependent on the proof on the asset and identity. So assets are devices, like you have routers, servers, or a machine host. And identity can be people. They can be identified the username, email address, or a field aliases, name aliases. So these two will provide us with the severity. Let me tell you how this can be done. So just example here, if you have a asset, one asset is for the VP of security and one is for you, that is L1 engineer, right? So VP asset will be more critical as compared to you, right? So these assets can also help us to come up with the urgency of the event. So if the same attack happen on VP laptop and same on your laptop, so urgency of notable field of notable event for the VP will be higher than you, because that depend on asset and identity, right? And these things can be managed in the lookup table. So I will tell you how you can manage. But before that, let me take you through enterprise security. This one. Okay, so you can see I have app here, Splunk Enterprise Security. If I click on that, it will take me to the home page. So here in home page, this is my home page for enterprise security. One option is for security posture and one is for incident review dashboard. So let's go to security posture. So this dashboard will tell me my security posture of my environment or my network. So this dashboard can be really helpful for like CEO, CISO, VP, or security head or SOC managers. So because they will not be interested in knowing what is happening and how it is happening, but they will be able to see what is actually happening and how are they safe or are they secure, how much is the risk on the network. So they can just see those kind of thing here. So on the top, we have the KPI indicators. So these KPI indicators can be modified if you click on edit. Now, if you want to add more KPIs here, you can add that. So Splunk has lots of pre-built KPI that come out of box. But if you want to create your own KPIs, like you want to see how many, like if you have sales department, if you are building something and selling that, like a e-commerce website, like how many mobile phone you are selling per day. So for that, you can create a KPI that will be highlighted here, and then that can be selected to add on the dashboard. Like here, I want to add this one. This can be added like this. And after that, you can define the threshold value. Like if you have not defined any threshold, in that case, color will be black. But if it is above threshold, like I said 250 is the threshold, then it will be red color. But if it is in below threshold, then it will be green color. And in front of that, we will be able to see either there is increase in the notable event or decrease. So here you can see threat activity has been increased by 13 as compared to last day. So Splunk compared that with last 24 hour to 48 hour. So this number is last 24 hour, and this 13, so 247 plus 13. So that was 48 hour before this time. So these are highly customizable. You can customize as per your requirement. And then we have the notable event by urgency. So you can see I have 76 critical event or 233 with the high severity. And then we have the trend of notable events. So if I check in the network, so you can see I have spike at two places. One is here, so I have spike here. If I want to see why I had spike at this time, so you can just click on that. It will take you to the, or you can say it will drill down into the new dashboard, and it will focus on the that particular time, like which event you had at that particular time and why it is high. So it will be able to showcase you all the event. Let it load. Okay, taking some time. Okay, so here it is able to load now. So you can see we are able to focus on that particular time, and these are the event that happen at that particular time. So you can see all event are in the network domain, and urgency for them is low. And what are the attack name? So these are the attack names. You can see abnormal high number of HTTP event. Going back to same dashboard. Now below that we have the notable event by occurrence. So these are the event which had the high occurrence. So you can see this event, anomalous new listening port, had the event count of around 2K. So in front of that, we have the sparkline. So sparkline can give us the trend in last 24 hours, how these are behaving. And this sparkline are really good feature, I will say, to do the monitoring. Just to give example here, if we have a brute force attack, so if we have brute force attack, so how it will happen? So it will be constant attack like that, right? And maybe let's say there are no more event after some time. So if you look at this sparkline, what you will understand from here? Can anyone tell me what you can understand in case of a brute force attack from here?
So somebody is trying and then getting stopped for some time, and then maybe retrying something later on.
Okay. So according to this sparkline, so you can say I had very constant attacks going on. Someone trying to
Yeah.
get in, and but they were not able to get in till here. But here after that, I have flat line. So I can assume maybe they are able to get in. They are able to get into my system. That's why I am not getting more attacks, more event. So that's how
Um,
Sparkline can help you with monitoring,
yeah.
right?
That also means like they did not able to do it and they're just not trying anymore or
Yeah,
whatever.
So both scenario can be there, but you will be very curious to go back and check. Either they are
Yes.
able to get in, or they just lost it. That they are not able to get into it, and they stop trying. So both scenario can be there, but these are really
Yeah.
good feature to help you identify what is happening. And then we have the top host names on which we have the most number of attacks. So you can see this IP address is having most number of event. If I were to check into that, like what is happening on this machine, on this server, you can check into that. So here you can see, so my analyst will be working on this dashboard all the time, incident review dashboard. So if I click here, it will take me to that dashboard only. Okay, so you can see first thing we can make some filters here. Like currently I am making filter on the this particular IP address that I want to search. But if you want to search with status, like you have a new event or some incident I have been closed, you can search by that. You can search by owner name, you can search by security domain, you can have some tags. Then you can search for a particular correlation event. If you want to do that, if you want to search with IP address, username, hostname, that can be done here. And you can just submit it. So here you can see on this particular machine, we have these attacks or these incidents. So if I open one of the incident here, so like this one, so it says I have phishing attack on the compromised host. So you can expand it from here. Then it will give you some detail about that. So this is a sequence event. So it says that I have a sequence event that identifies the phishing attack that happened on this user Bill Williams, which installed a new process, and it is sending some traffic to CNC server, right? Now you can say it will tell me complete stage how this attack happened. So this attack started at 12:04 p.m. So how it started, we go to email attachment with lots of space. So let's see what was the event, how it started.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.